everything about this game. So for me, it is life.
Ryan, look at that move. And that's for the highlight reel.
Something that I love to death.
I'm a player who gets no credit.
Watch how bad I cross Kobe up.
Gilbert Arenas, a nice crossover. What a play!
Get over here. Come here.
When I started playing basketball, I fell in love with it.
Oh, that pass from Nash. Three for the tie. Good! Nash again!
It's like either we gonna win or we gonna lose, but we gonna do it by my hands.
My way! This is good if it goes. Yes! Oh!
What do I fear?
Gotta buy it. Look out!
Nothing.
Toughest journey is that in life, man, you can do everything right.
Garnett and the fadeaway with a hand in his face for the win! Yes, sir!
And to some people, that's still not enough.
This is what we do right here, right here.
Winning's the only option.
Garnett puts it down!
I've always pictured myself being dominant, but I didn't think it was going to happen this early.
There's no one in the NBA that can get up this high. Howard at the buzzer! Dwight Howard climbs through the roof.
Playing in the NBA was my dream since I'm small.
Parker spinning away, banks it in. Tony Parker putting on a show.
I played second division in Germany. A lot of guys said you're not going to do it.
That's an MVP dunk.
I think I proved all critics wrong.
Hello again, basketball fans. I'm Rick Kamla, and this is NBA Street Series Volume 5, Journey to Becoming an All-Star. We're here inside the NBA TV Fantasy Forum, where we typically freak out nightly with the hardcore basketball fans and fantasy players who come from all corners of the globe. I'm feeling you, New Zealand, no doubt about it. And all of that said, becoming an NBA All-Star was no fantasy for the players you'll see on this DVD. They made it a reality with their skills, dedication, and hard work. And that's why we're here, to trace the journey taken by the league's best ballers. And we want to get this party started right. So we begin by running a couple of plays for our go-to guys, a.k.a. the NBA's most explosive scorers. Up first, Washington Wizards point guard Gilbert Arenas. He is now established as a perennial all-star, but he was underestimated many times along the way. And those who doubted Gilbert only added fuel to his burning drive to succeed and proved the doubters wrong.
And there is Gilbert Arenas, who has been on a tear.
I sit in my room half the time thinking about, what do I got to do? What I do is not enough for some reason. And it's funny because whatever I put my mind to, I get it.
Gilbert, your first All-Star game, did you draw much of a crowd on media day?
No, I had 7.5 people. I don't look at it like, it's a lack of respect because it's brainwashed. Whoever you see, whatever you see, that's what you know. We're all witnesses. I've seen the campaign. My peers who I play against, they know when I come in town, it's on.
Arenas from way downtown. He's got in the 30s again, 31.
At the end of the day, it don't matter what you have and how much publicity you get. When you step in that line, all I know is to be an assassin. That's all I know.
And one! Gilbert Arenas!
You try to capture the moment because, once basketball is over with, all you have is memories. Maybe I am that guy, at the end of my career, they're going to look back in the books and they're going to like, you know what? He deserves to be mentioned with these guys. Maybe I might not get my credit now, but, in the future, maybe I will. But at the end of the day, no one can stop me on the court, so I don't really care.
Gilbert Arenas. Oh, my! Whoa! Arenas looking. Nice crossover. Lays it up. Score the field goal.
Very unstoppable. One of the best scorers I've seen in this league. As a player, played with some great ones. Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant. He's right there at the top of the list.
Around Bowen, goes inside, throws it up and scores! Man. Sensational shot by Arenas.
He's a pure scorer. He can shoot the ball from anywhere on the court, half court, and in. Is his range.
Gilbert for the win. Agent Zero wins the game at the buzzer for Washington. He can embarrass you. Arenas, great move, reverse layup, got it. How good is Gilbert Arenas?
Very, very good.
So many different things are fueling Gilbert that are going in his head, that are going in his heart to try and make him become the best player that he can be.
It's a very difficult task to go through what he goes through. You know, he's in here twice a day, 4 or 5 hours at a time each session, and I'm constantly telling him take a vacation, take some time off, and he refuses to do it.
Growing up in California, Gilbert learned the value of hard work from his father, an aspiring actor trying to hit it big in Hollywood.
Just seeing my dad every day, reading scripts for his jobs that he was, going after and, failing them, not getting a part, commercial got canceled, and he was still, working on it. And one day I asked him, I was like, why are you going to work on it? Something bad's going to happen, and he was like, that's not the point. The point, if something does happen, I'll be ready for it.
The determination instilled by his dad helped prepare Gilbert for the many hurdles he would face on his road to the NBA, including draft night 2001.
Sacramento told me there's no way I will get past him at 25.
The Sacramento Kings select Gerald Wallace from the University of Alabama.
But somehow I went to 31.
One by one, teams passed him by until the Warriors finally chose Gilbert in round 2.
I had so much anger inside to see teams just crush my dream. Most players are happy to get drafted, I wasn't.
We couldn't go back and change what had happened in the draft. So I told him, I said, Gil, it's gonna be all right, man. Trust me, it's gonna be all right, but truly, you're gonna have to work.
So I was in that gym at 6 o'clock, I was in there 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I was just in there. All I can think about is just proving everyone wrong.
What a finish by Gilbert.
Let's see what he does in 6 seconds here.
Now with 4, with 3, Gilbert the length to lay it in and draw the foul.
Continuing to hone his game, Gilbert was named League's Most Improved Player in his second season. And after moving on from the Warriors to the Wizards, he blossomed as a full-fledged star.
8 to shoot for Arenas. Nice move around Bell. Goes inside. Lays it up and in.
Oh, look at this. Unbelievable shooting tonight by that man. Gilbert Arenas, he can explode at any time.
As Gilbert goes, the Wizards will go.
The explosive Gilbert Arenas. And Arenas, great move.
Oh, yeah.
Great pass to Jamison.
Here's Arenas on Cephalosha. Count it. Watch what he does. Cuts in front of the rim, pauses the contact, and then takes you with his athletic strength.
I showed myself, and I showed a lot of people, that what I can do in this league.
Heinrich with the steal. Gets inside. Blocked by Arenas. Oh, and a block from Arenas. A tremendous recovery.
You got to play up on him because he wants to shoot this so badly.
Fires away.
Another 3. Gilbert Arenas from way downtown.
I haven't been around very many people like him. He really wants to be one of the game's greatest players at the end.
Arenas went through the legs, to the side, off the window. Now, how did he ever get this off the glass?
First step, a very quick one. And nice crossover.
He has the talent to will a win at any given time because he's so talented.
Arenas for 3. Makes it in! Gilbert Arenas with 54.
A lot of guys have come up and realized there's nothing better in life than proving people wrong.
Gilbert Arenas always played with that chip on his shoulder, his second-round pick. He is a scoring machine. Gilbert Arenas.
I feel I'm the best second-rounder in today's game.
Gilbert Arenas with a career night, 60 points. It's also a franchise best. 60. What do you think about that?
I'm not looking at records like that. I'm not looking to break records. In my mind, I've broken all my barriers.
That's what it's all about, first time. It's good to see stuff like that.
It doesn't click until you walk in and you actually see your name on that jersey. Like, no one can take this away from me.
Gilbert, look at Gilbert! Look at Gilbert! Did you see that? Did you see Gilbert getting the line? Oh
Oh my God!
You got to enjoy each All-Star because you never know when it's going to be your last.
His 3 All-Star selections have left no doubt that Gilbert has arrived among the NBA's elite. But it's the playoffs where reputations are made, and Gilbert would get his chance in 2005 in a pivotal Game 5.
1 second. Yes! It's over! The Wizards have defeated the Bulls!
That's how you start waking people up, and people start, okay, man, let's look at this guy. Gilbert Arenas is a superstar player in this league.
And that'll do it! The Washington Wizards have advanced to the second round for the first time in 23 years.
Once you taste it, once you feel that vibe, that high level, you want to feel it again. You want that rush again. And the only way we're going to get that is if we get back there.
We welcome you to the 2006 NBA playoffs, and no better way to start than LeBron James's playoff debut.
This is LeBron's show, you know, we're just all witnesses. You guys can't use that one. I know no one's watching me, they're all watching LeBron, and this is a time for me to, poke my head in the camera.
Wizards with the ball, they lead by 2. Arenas pulls it back. Yes! Oh, he is feeling it. Right wing, 21-footer, it's there! Gilbert Arenas with a little attitude, no less.
With his team down 3 in Game 6 and their season on the line, it was Gilbert's time to shine.
3 seconds left, I got one more shot in me.
Come on hard, Gil, come hard. You can beat him there, you get it right there. Looking at inbound, Arenas puts up the 3.
Despite a heroic performance with 36 points, Gilbert missed 2 crucial free throws in overtime that could have put the game away. And Cleveland went on to close out the series. But he would leave a lasting impression on LeBron.
It was an unbelievable shot. Gilbert is just an unbelievable player. I don't know what else to say about that shot. It was unbelievable.
I know I'm going to be back in the gym tomorrow. I told the trainer I'd take a week off, but for some reason I'm going to be back tomorrow. I got to work on those free throws again.
3-2.
I want to be the best. That's what it is. I want to be the best at what I do. This is my craft. While I'm playing this game of basketball, I want to be the best at it.
With that work ethic and with that constant burning to become a better player, it's happening. It's happening because he is becoming one of the top players in this league.
Gilbert spins, fading jumper. How about that? Gilbert Arenas has 20 of Washington's last 28 points. Arenas again. He is on fire.
That's what that zone is. It's like everything is going perfect for you. You can't be stopped no matter what.
Arenas is fouled. Score the field goal. With the fans ready to come to their feet in the phone booth, Arenas for 3. Big shot.
I want to hit the big shot. I'm not scared about, missing the big shots. Fourth quarter, that's when I turn it on.
He's going to take that last shot. Yeah. It's down to 5. It's down to 3. Beyond the three-point arc, makes his move into the lane, scoops out, bangs it into the buzzer. Agent 0.
It's fun to watch. I don't know why they haven't been doubling him. When the game on the line, the buzzer about to go off, he just makes big shots.
Arenas fakes, strides. Tinsley right on top of him. He pulls up and hits a 3. We go to overtime.
And you'd believe it.
Arenas did it time and time again last season.
It's just that adrenaline that just comes in when, you shoot that shot. And, you got 20,000 people, watching to see if it goes in.
Agent 0 checks the clock. Gilbert for the win. Got another one! He is amazing! Gilbert Arenas wins the game at the buzzer for the Wizards.
Gilbert wears his heart on his sleeve and his motivation on his back. He began wearing the number 0 in college at Arizona because he was told that's how many minutes of playing time he would get. I don't remember the dude who said that, but I do know that Gilbert Arenas has already forged an unforgettable legacy. Funny how that works out. Gilbert has that quality that all the great players share, a fierce desire to be the best. And there's no better example of that than Kobe Bryant. His achievements speak for themselves. 3 NBA championships, 2 scoring crowns, a run of 40 or more points in 9 straight games. Oh yeah, and the 81 points he dropped on Toronto. Not a bad pick for your fantasy team. But even a stat freak like me has to admit that there's much more to Kobe Bryant than just the stats. He has taken his game to a stratosphere that few other players have ever reached.
Kobe Bryant is a phenomenon. He defies logic, captivating hearts and minds at once. He is human, though it may not always seem like that with the way he soars.
When I'm on the court, I feel free. I just feel like a kid again in the backyard, just playing and just having a good time and just dreaming about, being where I am at this particular moment in time. It's a blessing to be there. I love everything about this game. Life and basketball life, they're one and the same. So for me, it is life. It's not a part of life, it is life. It is something that I love to death, and it's truly a part of me.
He is a champion 3 times over, but Kobe Bryant is not satisfied. He wants more.
What motivates me now more than ever is winning another championship. That's what drives me beyond belief.
And as Kobe embarks on a journey back to the top, we're reminded of how he got there.
Bryant, look at that move. And that's for the highlight reel.
I'll tell you, he's an unbelievable player.
Bryant again, able to extend and put it down.
Fourth quarter, 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
That's 3.
2.
Gotta love that, baby. Gotta love it.
1. Man.
Though he's a 5-time member of the all-defensive team, Kobe is, above all, a scorer with an unlimited arsenal.
Scoring to me is a blank canvas. There's no set way to score. That's exactly what it is. It's having unlimited freedom and creativity.
There we go. Here comes Kobe. Slam. Look at that move. And that's for the highlight reel.
Things just slow down. Everything slows down. You just have supreme confidence.
It's easier to have that confidence when you're a player as talented as Kobe.
What I've always tried to do is have as many weapons as possible. So when you're playing a game, the defense can't send you one way or the other, and you're comfortable doing whatever it is that they give you.
Well, the degree of difficulty on that shot is through the roof.
Ball handling skills.
In his mind, there is no such thing as a bad shot because he can make any shot.
Inside moves.
If you get there late on Kobe, you end up on SportsCenter or on a poster.
Have the outside shot.
4 seconds left. Kobe Bryant fakes. Left wing, a head fake. Fires a flat-footed 3. Played well by Newble. Shoots over. And scores! That's the buzzer!
There was no space for that shot to be taken.
Fadeaways.
Bryant putting moves on James. Here's Bryant. Yes! Got it! Did it again!
Pull-up shot.
Kobe Bryant at the buzzer. Right between the eyes.
Kobe arrived in 1996, infusing LA with a new kind of electricity. He brought a style all his own and a leaping ability that could be described in one word: shocking.
Look at him. Now check him out.
Between the legs, Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant, 18-year-old rookie. Did you see the move by the kid? Did you see the finish by the kid? He's as high as a man can go without an airplane.
Kobe Bryant down the lane. Wow, what a right hand jab.
Kobe Bryant up high throw it down.
No one in the league playing better.
Kobe crossover dribble, attacks the basket, slam dunk, Kobe Bryant.
Kobe. Goodness. Put that on the highlight reel. Good.
Kobe has to spin. Leads Jim Jackson and hammers it home.
Kobe up against Surah. Now goes right around Surah inside. Slams on the reverse.
Kobe Bryant just sucked the gravity out of the target center.
A Kobe dunk is a message delivered by force, especially to those defenders who would dare to stand in his way.
Oh, what a slam dunk! My God!
And everybody gets the message.
Now the Lakers have numbers 2 on 1. Kobe serve! Dunk over a Donald Foyle. Bryant.
Kobe's giving the people what they came to see, that's for sure.
He made it. Count the basket. Slammed it. And there's a foul. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go to a basketball game the rest of your life and you won't see this play duplicated. You're talking about a highlight. That's more than a highlight. Wow. Long run out by Kobe Bryant. Behind the back. Oh! What did I just see?
You just saw what Kobe does best, and that's bring people to their feet with a sensational play in the open court.
Look at the hustle of Lamar Odom. Off to Kobe Bryant. Counted for 2, or let's see. Yep, counted for 2 and a foul. And Kobe with emphasis. Dunk over Yao Ming. How does he do that?
Any way that he wants.
And whenever he wants.
Bryant riding off road. Oh! Serves up a facial on to Bryant.
The Bryant changing direction by Bryant. Slam dunk. Woo! It's highlight time for Kobe Bryant.
I think that's what the fans came to see. And you talk about elevation. Chick, he went up to the rafters before he decided to put somebody on a poster.
Kobe, he dunked on me. That's when I realized I was still a rookie. I tried to just stand there. I was thinking he was gonna shoot a jump shot. He came down the lane and dunked it so hard, and it was just like boom. And I don't remember hearing nothing else but boom, and then I heard, oh, wow.
And of course, no lead is safe against the Lakers because of this man, Kobe Bryant, can take over. Kobe with a spectacular jam.
The whole crowd was in awe, and I was like, man, I just got dunked on. And that's like the first time I ever been dunked on my whole life.
He almost threw his elbow into the basket that time. Posterizes Dwight Howard.
And I got clowned, for the rest of the season, not just by my teammates, but my family and my friends. And I could go to the mall and I would see a guy asking for an autograph, but he'd have a shirt that got a picture of me getting dunked on by Kobe. And that's not a good feeling.
Kobe the best in the game right now, man. Right now? Yeah. Right. Who better than Kobe?
Having that respect for my peers is something that I worked hard at having from day one. When they come to Los Angeles or they're facing the Lakers, they know that they're going to be in for a fight.
Mentally, you have to be focused at 48 minutes, maybe even focused during halftime with that guy.
You have to respect greatness. Kobe is one of the players that is just great at every aspect of the game. He has what we say, he can master the game, and you have to respect it. And you have to really be on your P's and Q's when you're going up against him, because if you slip, you're gonna fall.
Kobe Bryant's probably one of the top, I would say, 10 players ever to play the game.
For him to approach the game with the consistency he does is, know, what really sets him apart and makes him one of the all-time greats.
Kobe's probably the most talented player on earth.
I love his game. I'm a huge fan of his. I've said this time and time again. And he's definitely, you know, if not the greatest player of this era, one of them for sure.
When he's on the court, it's just like magic. You know, it doesn't seem like he's going. It's like everything is slowed down for him. He make his move. He just gliding and gliding. He'd give you one of them right there. He just go up, and it's like it seems like it's slow motion, but it's like amazing to watch. Like I could sit down the bench, and I could watch him do all those moves all day.
I'm having a lot of fun. When I'm on the court, I'm having a lot of fun. That's what it's all about for me.
When fans debate who's the best player in the game today, Kobe is usually right there at the top of the list. But in just a few short years, Dwayne Wade has forced his own name into that discussion with his insatiable will to destroy his opponent. Drafted in 2003, the man known as Flash revitalized the Miami Heat. And in 2006, he led them to their first ever NBA championship. D. Wade is now a bona fide superstar in South Beach and around the world. But he learned his game on the south side of Chicago. And in being paid the ultimate compliment, Wade has been compared to the Windy City's biggest sports hero.
In the city where Michael Jordan became an icon, a new sensation emerged. And, like his airness, he took the NBA by storm.
You know, I'm not Dwayne Wade on the court. I feel like I'm somebody else. It's like a superhero inside that comes out.
Wade, high screen by Zoe. Wade to the basket. The right hand jam by Flash. Oh my! Flash is amazing. Oh, what a play!
You're a bad dude, boy. Ooh-wee, that's my boy. Yeah, Flash.
I do things on the court that, you know, I never practice. I never even knew I could do. So I'm anticipating, you know, what's to come that night. You know, just like the fan.
Wade, bring out your best Dwayne Wade. D-Wade is back, baby. No mistake about it.
The ability to take it to ever higher levels. That's what the great ones do.
And today, Dwayne can reflect on just how far he's come from his early days in Chicago.
It brings back the beginning of when I first started playing. When I was, you know, of course dreaming about the NBA, but didn't have a clue. My father used to play here before he brought us here. I used to come and watch him when I was a kid, real little. And then once I started playing here, it was just like it was like a torch. You know, I felt like I was holding a torch. You know, I scored my first bucket right down there. I scored my first bucket right down there. I remember I got a steal right here at half court. I ripped somebody.
One with Theo back. Dwayne Wade challenges.
I remember like it was yesterday. I was coming down. I crossed over right here. Got it right here. I had to go across on another defender, and then I threw up the luckiest shot in the world. Just threw it up like that, and it went off the glass and went in.
Here he comes. Yes, baby, he did it again. You can't stop that man. He is unbelievable. I don't know what other adjectives to use.
I had a few of those since then, but that was my first one.
Wade, he attacks down the lane. Wade scooped it in, drew the foul. Dwayne Wade, incredible.
Indeed.
That is one of the greatest shots made in playoff history.
Woo! Next stop, ROBBINS. You know, when I hear a lot of people say I got a lot of street in my game, I guess, you know, that's just my Chicago roots. You know, I grew up playing on a blacktop. So my father used to come out here and he used to beat us up, and and you had to become a man out here at a young age. It was his rules. I mean, there's no fouls in the backyard at all. You know, so if you go up for a shot, somebody just come and clean your clock, you better get up and dust it off.
He couldn't see over us. We were all taller than him, so everything he put up, we would block.
You know, he did a lot of things that we wasn't used to. So we like, man, you got to get harder. So we roughened them up, bottom line.
It looked like a small space now, but this meant the world to us to have this little bitty space that we all can't fit on now, but this was our NBA right here. This was it. This was I was Jordan back here, I was Scotty back here.
Great comeback by the Chicago native from the south side of the city.
Okay, I started dunking probably like some of my sophomore year, going to my junior year. It took me a long time to dunk. But I'm gonna tell you, when they all found out that I was real, my brother come back from school, from JUCO. He come back, he big bro and everything, you know what I'm saying? He heard about me, he heard I was doing my thing out here. So we playing a little 21, so one time I get it, right? I probably crossed my little brother up or something like that, I don't know. So I get it, I take it, bro, come up, try to block it, body to body. Body. That's when he knew young bro was growing up.
Dwayne Wade with authority.
That's it.
Dwayne's Chicago-bred toughness would never be more evident than in Game 3 of the 2006 Finals. With the Heat down in the series 2-0 and trailing by 13 in the fourth quarter, Wade would answer the call.
I ain't going out like this. I'm gonna go out gunning. I'm gonna go out shooting.
Wade drives left baseline, and he got to the rim and able to score with a foul on Dallas.
Dwayne Wade breathes life back into the Miami cause.
Don't count Miami out yet.
Dwayne Wade does have characteristics of Michael Jordan. He's got that internal fortitude.
They have a chance as long as Dwayne's out there attacking the rim. Wade has brought Miami to within 5.
And he brought us back. And he brought us back, single-handedly.
And he's got it wide left beyond the stripe. Wade, left baseline, wide open. The jumper, good.
This is absolutely shocking.
The alley-oop tipped up in the air, and Miami has done the improbable.
They have won this ball game on an unbelievable fourth quarter by Dwayne Wade.
And the Miami Heat right back in the NBA Finals.
And after single-handedly shifting the momentum in the series, Dwayne didn't stop until he had led Miami all the way to the ultimate prize.
Way to hold on, and the Miami Heat are champions of the basketball world! Woo! And the NBA championship for the first time!
Dwayne Wade rose to a level that we have never seen here with the Miami Heat. He became the best player in the world. He's the best player in the world at that time.
That feeling of being the best, that feeling of being number one was just better than I thought it can ever feel.
2006 Miami Heat! Miami Heat!
Like his idol, Michael Jordan, Dwayne was at his best on the game's biggest stage. How do I know that? He dropped 35 points a game in that championship series against Dallas and was named Finals MVP. But when it comes to the regular season MVP award, that has gone global in recent years. In 2007, a sharpshooter from Germany won the honor. That would be the Mavericks' Dirk Nowitzki. The 2 years prior to that, the MVP award went to Dirk's former Maverick teammate and good buddy, Steve Nash, who was born in Canada. For both players, winning MVP was the culmination of an unlikely journey to NBA stardom. Born in Johannesburg, South Africa, and raised in Victoria, British Columbia, Steve Nash was a late arrival to the game that became his career.
I didn't play basketball until the 8th grade. I think a lot of it's because my parents are from London, England, so I just played all the other sports that my parents sort of introduced me to. But when I started playing basketball, I fell in love with it.
He wasn't heavily recruited in high school and went to the only college that offered him a scholarship, tiny Santa Clara. But playing in the NBA seemed a distant dream.
That's a great pass by Nash.
I think a lot of people say, there's no way you can do it, and you don't have this, or you're not that, but why?
With the 15th pick in the 1996 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select Steve Nash from the University of Santa Clara.
I'm just going to try to work as hard as I can every day from now to the rest of my life. And I don't know what to say. It's just a dream come true, and it's unbelievable. It's beyond words.
Perfect.
Like Nash, Dirk Nowitzki's journey to the NBA also began in a different country, on a court in Würzburg, Germany.
I was like 15, 16, and I couldn't shoot. I was just tall and couldn't really do any moves. Something caught me with the sport. I just loved it, and I stuck to it.
His path took a new turn when he was spotted by former Olympian Holger Gerschwinder.
There was a tall, skinny dude running around, but he has no tools. He could not dribble the ball, he could not shoot it, and he had no power at all. And I said, hey, who is teaching you all the tools? You know, nobody. So, okay, if you want, I do it.
We started to work, even though it was very unorthodox. I could see that it's going the right direction. I'm getting better.
The Dallas Mavericks had been scouting Dirk and acquired him in a draft night trade in 1998. The team had also traded for Nash and introduced them both on the same day.
That day was kind of ironic that we had everything together. We held our jerseys up together. He looked weird with his hair. It was like brown hair and the top was blonde. And I thought he's a little weird.
Dirk, do you have a statement you want to make? No. I'm all right.
Pass me the ball.
At first, both players struggled to adapt to their new surroundings, but they stuck together and developed a chemistry both on and off the court.
Dallas Mavericks, one fan at a time. One fan at a time, our slogan.
Nowitzki on the feed from Nash. It's the Steve Nash Show. Nash crossing over, dancing down the lane, lost the ball, dropped the round one. Oh my goodness! Nash! Leprechaun-like. How did he see Dirk?
We both came to a new city. We both lived in the same apartment complex, and we hung out. You know, we didn't really know anyone else, so we became friends.
Nash somehow escapes. 2 bulls. Whoa, Steve Nash.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, Nowitzki.
Steve was huge for my development, really, trying to give me confidence even after bad games, trying to talk to me and helping me off the court.
That shot, that was terrible.
Taking me out of the hotel, and so I'm not being homesick all the time.
Nowitzki flies to the goal. Look out below. Oh, Nowitzki had a shot, and he spins away. Oh, air delivering.
We played horse, we played shooting games, we played one-on-one games. Just constantly working on our games together and kind of grew together.
Nash steps away from Curry. Double pump reverse. How'd he do that? Nash, a magical drive. Nowitzki drives by Ewing to the glass for the jam.
It really happened with me and Steve together. I mean, we really pushed each other to new levels.
Nash blows by Anderson. Oh, what a wraparound to Dirk!
Nash and Nowitzki both became all-stars, and they transformed the lowly Mavericks into contenders.
To have your friend there with you, and he's developing as quick as you are, and we're taking this whole team from like winning 20 games to all of a sudden winning 60 games and going to the Western Conference Finals. That was a great experience that I will never forget.
But the journey they were on together suddenly went in 2 different directions when Dallas chose to let Nash go to Phoenix as a free agent.
I'd formed some pretty special friendships with my teammates. We were at the bottom, and we took ourselves, nearly to the top. And to kind of turn my back on that with, the job unfinished was very difficult.
In Phoenix, Nash instantly energized the Suns and turned them into winners.
Steve Nash has the rebound for the Suns. Out of backcourt with his hair in the breeze. Keeps coming. Shot blocked with the left hand. Nash taking Duncan off the dribble. Stoudemire. Oh, what a pass from Nash. Eyes in the back of his head.
He was named league MVP, but as always, he put the team first.
I really just want to share this with my teammates. This has been an incredible year for me and for our team. And for me to come to a new situation and be accepted the way I've been by these guys, and for us to be able to form a bond in a team that we have has been special. So thanks, fellas.
After accepting the trophy, his next order of business would be facing his former team in the playoffs.
This is my old team. Dirk, It's a strange situation for me to play Dallas in the playoffs.
That was really the toughest thing, that for him to come back and I know how close we still are, and it was weird to just see him in a different uniform.
Oh, what a shot. What a shot.
Falling away. Steve Nash, the MVP of the NBA, has just dished out his 10th assist tonight.
111-108. Nash goes. This is 3 for the tie. Good! Steve Nash again! The Phoenix Suns go to the Western Conference Finals.
But the Suns fell short of the finals, and Nash returned the next season more determined than ever, while raising his game even higher.
Steve Nash behind the back. Tim Thomas, and you talk about an assist to the capital A. There it is. Nash looking right, throwing left. Easy layup. That triggers the rush the other way by Nash. Oh, what a pass. Yeah!
You got to make that shot after you get that kind of stuff from Steve Nash.
Nash was named MVP for the second straight year and continued his improbable rise.
The odds that this guy from Canada, who didn't play basketball as his first sport, who didn't go to a major university, is the MVP of this basketball league. I mean, when you consider that, that's got to be 50 million to 1.
Meanwhile, Dirk had adjusted to life without Steve, becoming a superstar in his own right and the leader of the Mavs.
He has Nowitzki. Nowitzki is fouled. It's tossed. Yes, and the foul. Nowitzki's picked by it. A foot raise here.
Dirk taking it home. Steve Meltzer passing to Staples Center. Nowitzki with 5. For the win. It's all over. Dallas has got it.
Every time you face something in your life, you have to fight. Nothing will be given to you. You got to go out and take it and fight for it in life or in sports.
First Nowitzki shedding 2 Spurs. It counts and the foul. Sensational move by Nowitzki.
He's gotten so much tougher mentally and physically.
Nowitzki goes right at Bowen. And the foul!
Dirk Nowitzki. What a clutch play by Dirk.
As fate would have it, Dallas and Phoenix met in the playoffs for the second straight year, and Dirk was focused on getting his revenge.
Dirk spinning baseline, and this time he will finish with authority.
Boy, what a strong move by Dirk Nowitzki.
Nowitzki a 3 for 50. He got it! Dirk Nowitzki, a 50-point playoff game. The greatest individual playoff effort in the history of the Dallas Mavericks. From Dirk Nowitzki, for the first time ever, the Dallas Mavericks are champions of the Western Conference, and they go to the NBA Finals.
Let's go, NC!
As the 2007 season began, Nash would have a chance to make history as just the third player to win 3 consecutive MVP awards.
What we do, 1, 2, 3, on the left.
And his toughest competition would be his old friend Dirk, as each player would make his case for the honor all season long.
Dirk with 3, 2, jab step, put it on the floor, over Swift at the horn, he hits!
Nash takes him off the dribble, wrap around and Stoudemire, and the foul! What a pass from Steve Nash! I have never seen him throw a dunk down this hard. That's an MVP dunk.
Steve, you're back in the MVP race again, and the last couple of years, you pretty much said that Dirk's your MVP. You stand by that?
I lied before. But I think this year he deserves it.
4.4 left. Diop finds Nash, puts up a 3, and got it!
5 seconds. He'll go to Dirk. Jump shot over Marion. 1.3 to go. To make it another chance, Marion hits Nash another 3. Oh! Steve
loops it to Dirk, and he'll shoot over Collins, and he hits! Tell me he's not the MVP in the NBA.
Joined Steve as an MVP of this league. You know, I think once we first got here to Dallas, I think nobody really believed that we can do it. There could even be role players in this league. And it's definitely great to see that all the hard work we put in has paid off.
Dirk became the first European-born player to win the NBA's MVP award. It was part of a triple crown for international ballers during the 2006-2007 season. In June of 2006, Italy's Andrea Bargnani was the first European to be drafted #1 overall. And the epic season ended in June of 2007 with Tony Parker of France becoming the first European to be named Finals MVP. It was yet another sign of how basketball has grown overseas as players from all over the world are taking their games to the United States and putting their names on the NBA map. Spain has just recently become a basketball power, but the sport has always been embraced by its people.
And we love this game. We have a big passion for this game. We like to consider ourselves winners, and we like to compete really hard.
Pau Gasol is the first NBA star from Spain, but when he was drafted 3rd overall by Memphis in 2001, he was considered a man of mystery.
Pau Gasol, who is this? Who is that guy? Nobody knows. It's from Spain. Oh, from Spain? Spain what? That makes me step up and say, well, I'm here. I can play, and everybody will know me. I'm gonna work hard and show to everybody that I'm a very good player.
Gasol. Dave and Tim both get smashed on. Guys are gonna be talking about this one in the locker room. Believe me, what a play.
It's a great honor being the first European who gets the Rookie of the Year. I take a lot of pride of it.
Garnett's wanting him to go. There he goes. Oh! Man, he took it right at Kevin. And Garnett can do nothing but smile. As the Spanish Inquisition. Gasol says, "Que pasa, big ticket? Que pasa?"
I love it, baby.
I think that I bring consistency, efficiency.
To Gasol for the flush.
I think Pau's multi-dimensional. He's a very versatile player.
Stoudemire back to Pau on the refeed. He gets the layup and the foul, and Dirk Nowitzki just picked up number 4.
He's got the complete package with passing and rebounding and scoring. So he's a tough player to play and to guard.
Gasol with Nowitzki on him, drives baseline, beats Dirk to the rim, and jams with one hand.
I think that I accepted the challenge of being a leader of this team and being the franchise player, and obviously making the All-Star team. It was a great honor.
Their seats on that explosion by the Spaniard.
He really developed his game to where he's an all-star, where he's a superstar in his league.
3.9 left. They get it into Gasol at 2. At 1, he starts the drive. He wheels.
It makes me feel proud of what I'm doing, you know, and just thinking that I can open some doors to some other players that are going to come behind me. So to me, that's a big thing.
One Spaniard who followed in Gasol's footsteps is Jose Calderon, who spent the first 6 years of his career in the Spanish League before coming to the NBA with the Toronto Raptors.
Spanish League is one of the best leagues in the world, and I think you start playing young with professionals. I think helps you a lot to make this jump to the NBA.
Calderon again, into the paint. Oh, nicely done. This kid's very good.
It's a big step. You know, you go to the best league in the world, and you have to be ready to adapt your game and know what is your role in the team.
Calderon, look at that pass! And a jam for Bargnani.
Calderon counted the foul. I mean, he is just abusing the Washington Wizards.
Right now, I feel comfortable with my game, but like I said, I think every day you have to try to be a little bit better player.
Calderon behind the back, trying to hold to win. Oh, baby, what a play! The Spanish connection.
The island of Puerto Rico is where Carlos Arroyo started out in his journey to the NBA.
I'm very proud of being Puerto Rican. I feel it's a big responsibility every time I step out of the island, to represent my country with a great amount of respect and dignity.
Down court, Arroyo. Kind of spins it. No, it goes to the hole. Dribble up. It goes. Arroyo.
Just growing up, I used to hang around with the ball all the time, so I used to just dribble everywhere.
Here come the Jazz. Arroyo behind his back to Karolinko. Nicely done by Carlos Arroyo.
I used to look a lot at, Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas when I was growing up, and I'd try to copy a little bit what their style was to my game.
Arroyo split the D. Oh, shoot, dish off to the corner. He's clever. Fun to watch.
Can't be too serious, man. You gotta have fun playing basketball.
Look at that pass to Rashid. How sweet was that, baby? Carlos no-looked him. Baseline Arroyo up, under, and good. That's an acrobatic move.
Arroyo going right at O'Neal. Beautiful feed and the touch score.
After playing for 4 teams in his first 5 seasons, Arroyo was traded to Orlando, which turned out to be a perfect fit.
It was a new life for me. Always been my dream to play in Orlando, man. I felt it was a great situation coming here, playing in front of my Hispanic and Puerto Rican community. And to have the feeling that I have every time I step on that court and know that the Puerto Rican community is supporting me 100%. And just to see the flags, it's just an amazing feeling.
Arroyo straddling the three-point line, tries to go in, dribbles behind the back, puts it up right-handed in. That was tremendous.
Just want to come in and bring a lot of energy, control the tempo of the game, just run the team. Basically, that's my job as a point guard.
How about the feed from Arroyo?
He's fun to play with. He's fun to watch. He does things that lead to winning. He gets everybody involved.
Carlos Arroyo inside behind the back, pass to Foyle to put it up and in. A dazzling performance there by Arroyo.
Look at Arroyo, a little dipsy-do. Carlos Arroyo bringing the crowd to its feet.
Manu Ginobili is a 3-time NBA champion, but when he was becoming a star in his native Argentina, the NBA was the furthest thing from his mind, even on draft day.
I didn't even know that was draft day, to tell you the truth. Nobody told me that I had a chance of being drafted, so I didn't even consider it. And I remember waking up the following day and being told that I was drafted at the 57th pick.
Look at Ginobili! Manu Ginobili with a little flair. Here's Ginobili against Prince. Oh my! What a shot! He is fearless going to the basket.
I feel very welcome since the first day I got here. I always felt trusted and I had the environment to develop.
Ginobili. Oh! Come on, his last 2 plays have been spectacular. Behind his back twice, in your face, the raindrop. Here's Ginobili. Oh my, what a play by Manu Ginobili. That was spectacular.
Manu's one of the all-time great competitors in our game. That's just who he is.
Ginobili driving to the basket. Oh my goodness! Ginobili on a mission. There's no one in the game who would tax the rim harder. What a play!
He'll make unbelievable threes, unbelievable shots going to the rim.
Oh, Ginobili with the move. It's good.
This play is as great a play as I have ever seen.
No way. He is going to work. Wow.
Seems like he's corralled, and all of a sudden he breaks out of 2 or 3 people and finishes at the rim, and nobody knows where he went.
Ginobili gets the inbound. Works a smashing through the lane, and with one hand for the dunk.
Manu Ginobili, his first All-Star game. He's a rock star, so it's nothing different to him. He's got the hair.
Manu's so excited to be here as an all-star. In fact, he flew his family in from Argentina.
I think your career kind of changes from the first time you come here. We're considered a good player in a championship team, but now you're an all-star, so I think it's different.
Oh, pretty move from Manu Ginobili. Ginobili behind the back. What a move by Manu Ginobili.
He just has a knack for the game and unbelievable lack of fear in any situation.
Nice move from Ginobili, and the foul. Ginobili puts on the finishing touches, and there's the buzzer. The San Antonio Spurs are NBA champions once again.
Ginobili has joined forces with his teammate Tony Parker to give the Spurs an all-international backcourt. Parker grew up in France, where he's been playing basketball for as long as he can remember.
I play basketball because I just love the game. Fell in love since I'm 2 years old. Got a picture in my house holding the ball. The ball is bigger than me.
Tony spinning and scoring! Woo-hoo! What a play! That was absolutely filthy!
They say that now I'm representing France in the States, so there's not too much pressure. I'm just happy to represent France and I'm doing the best I can.
Sensational move by Tony Parker. Unstoppable.
I was very happy to be in that team, and it was almost the perfect coach for me because after 5 games he threw me in the fire, and said, "You're going to be our point guard."
He finds Manu inside, laid up and good. A beautiful feed by Parker.
Tony Parker is on fire in every element of the game.
Unbelievable, Parker.
Oh, he just put Kenyon Martin in the meat grinder.
My speed, I can penetrate basically anytime I want.
Here's Parker quickly back, driving on the Nowitzki, all the way in, laid up and good.
I think I can create for my teammates or for myself.
Parker behind the back.
How about that pass by Tony Parker? That was ridiculous.
And here's Parker again. Wheeling and dealing, and Ginobili scores! Cut it out. They're having way too much fun out there.
And if my outside shot is going, then I feel like, I can do anything on the basketball court.
Beautiful move from Tony Parker.
A 21-footer. Good!
What's helped me to get ready for games and compete is just the challenge. Just the challenge and the opportunity to play against the best players every night.
Stay on his feet and take it to the rim.
Parker gets inside again and scores! A sensational move by Tony Parker.
While he'd already been an All-Star and a 2-time NBA champion, Parker's stature would rise to a new level in the 2007 finals.
I remember before the finals, I told my dad, I want to dominate those finals. And I was just being aggressive and being in attack mode from the first game.
Just spinning away to the basket, banks it in.
After game 1, you saw they were going to have trouble stopping him. You could see it in him that these finals were going to be his.
Circus shot is in! He spun, he twirled, he threw it up high off the glass, and it went in. Tony Parker putting on a show once again.
I felt like I can't miss. I felt like nobody can stop me and I can penetrate that well.
Parker again, inside, puts it in. Oh, beautiful shot from Tony Parker. Here's Parker. So quick down the... Oh, what a shot from Parker. Lightning fast, and then a circus shot. Somebody please tell me how he made that shot.
It was just a great journey, the experiences and the win, the loss, the championships, and to the ultimate for me, because individually to get the MVP, and our 3rd championship, it was just an unbelievable feeling, very proud.
No team has more global flavor than San Antonio, as the Spurs feature 6 foreign-born players. And those international ingredients have been critical to the Spurs' success. Besides the backcourt of Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, you have the cornerstone of the franchise. He hails from the Virgin Islands, and he's probably the best power forward of all time, Tim Duncan. And now, a pair of young giants are following in Duncan's footsteps and emerging as the big men of the future, Amari Stoudemire and Dwight Howard. But paving the way for Stat and D. Howitzer was the man who rose to greatness in Minnesota and who now has a new beginning in Boston, the big ticket, Kevin Garnett.
Here I come, world. Here I come.
Oh, baby! Oh, baby, what a play!
I'm shocked, man. I ain't really a lights, camera, action person.
Kevin Garnett, how high did he go on that one?
Though he tried to avoid the spotlight, it followed Kevin Garnett as he became the first player in 20 years to make the leap from high school to the pros.
I came to the league a different way than most people. To this day, that story still is part of who I am.
Why do you think you are ready for the big transition to step from high school to the NBA?
One reason I think I'm ready is because I work so hard.
That's it good, KJ. That's it working. That's it good.
I've never known to take off. I've never known to hold back. I've always been taught to just leave it out there.
Allen will fire from outside. It won't get there. Garnett, offensive rebound, scoring.
Size, strength, youth, quickness. You better learn when you go against Minnesota. KG's on the floor.
This is who I am. Whenever you play against me, it's, it's consequences.
Garnett. Oh, my goodness. High school or college? That's an NBA. Send it in.
Oh, did you see the youngster? You may be seeing the birth of a superstar tonight.
Showtime.
The precocious youngster quickly proved he belonged, dazzling fans around the league.
Look at this.
A 19-year-old 7-footer with so many skills was unheard of, but Kevin made it look easy.
Misses, and Garnett with a rebound. He's doing it all. Carter, back to Garnett. Kevin Garnett has just electrified this arena.
Boy, the big man, he is really a two-guard trapped in a center's body.
KG was becoming a perennial all-star and the league's most versatile player.
A big guy playing like a guard. Great pass by Kevin Garnett.
Garnett punches the ball. Terry Porter picks it up. Garnett's lurking from behind. Yeah, he's going to get it and dunk it and get fouled.
Oh, wow.
What a play by Garnett.
And in 2004, he would reach the pinnacle of his career, winning MVP.
I held that up. No one could ever take that, not just away from me, but no one can ever take that moment away from the city and what not just I've accomplished, but what we've accomplished.
Throws the floor. Garnett receives. Turns to the foul line. It's in the air. Oh, the big ticket has just knocked down the big shot.
He was no longer known as the kid. Now he was the man.
I've never anticipated on being the man. Let my work ethic and my passion for this game speak all for itself.
But along with all his talent, what also electrified fans was his emotion and enthusiasm.
Oh, G-Money has just cashed in with a big one.
I can remember being so wired up, being so charged that when I screamed into my lungs.
Kevin Garnett showing no regard for human life. Nobody thinks he's being out there. Oh, me, oh, my. Rejected by Kevin Garnett.
Missed the lead, but Garnett is way up above the rack. Woo! Crossover lever drive and a slam. What a fourth quarter for the MVP.
And all the intensity he poured into the game was channeled into one ultimate goal, trying to win a championship.
I put into this every night what I have to do to be successful, the energy, the passion. Championships are what it's all about. That's the reason we come here and play.
That desire to win would lead Kevin to the crossroads of his career as he left the Timberwolves.
Everybody hates to lose. And if you really, really have a passion for winning, then it's worth it. You deal with it.
There we go.
Well, I'm happy to be here. I thought this is probably my best opportunity of winning the ring, so I took the big steps to make those adjustments, and here we are.
We get the 5th pick in the 1995 draft. 12 years later, the Boston Celtics select Kevin Garnett.
Burke gets it back. There's another great feed from Garnett.
In Boston, KG sees a chance to win it all, but he takes nothing for granted.
And I'm giving myself every opportunity there is that's in my control to go out and win every game. That's all I can do. That's all I can do.
Whether or not he wins a championship, Kevin has paved the way for a crop of young, athletic big men.
Amar'e Stoudemire adding to his offensive arsenal. Oh, beautiful move! Throws it down! Oh, he left Wallace nailed to the floor.
Amar'e Stoudemire and Dwight Howard have picked up the torch from KG.
Oh, man, what a block by Howard!
In this league, it's good to see progress amongst people or younger kids who've came in. You know, obviously I'm getting older. There's younger people that's under me that are getting better.
Got Howard, throw it up high, throw it down hard. Oh man, what a block by Howard.
My favorite player to watch play is Kevin Garnett.
Howard, he wanted to dish it off, instead he'll shoot the three. He drills it.
Just watching him play, he always brings 100%, and he's just intimidating on both ends of the floor.
With his size and skills, Dwight Howard has often been compared to Garnett, and as a young star in Atlanta, he wanted to follow in Kevin's footsteps.
My first goal that I had in high school was to be the first pick in the draft.
The dream was achieved when Orlando chose him first overall in 2004. But reality quickly set in as the rookie learned some hard lessons.
Howard thought he had an uncontested dunk.
Because I was getting pushed around a lot, and I hated that. I just made a commitment, in the weight room, try to get a little bit better every day.
All the hours of lifting helped him withstand the pounding in the paint, and he became the first rookie from high school to start 82 games.
Dwight Howard, a whirling two-hander.
His tenacity was also reflected in his game.
Howard again! Oh! There is a spectacular finish. Goodness, looks even better the second time.
But for Dwight, the one part of his arsenal that he's most proud of is his rebounding.
I think the main thing is having the willpower to try to get every rebound. If I want to get the rebound, I'm going to get it. And I'm not going to let nobody stop me.
Howard is there to clean it up again. The master of the glass with his 20th rebound of the night.
By his second year in the NBA, Dwight had already solidified his place as one of the game's great big men.
Francis, no, but how about that foul? My goodness, from Dwight Howard.
In 2007, Dwight was named an All-Star, but would showcase more than just his basketball skills.
Dwight Howard with the bucket.
Shaq was like, okay, young fella, let me see what you got. And I'm like, right now? He was like, yes, let's do it. Anybody who knows me knows, I like to dance. So when we had that dance off with Shaq, it was just, I was real nervous. He won. He beat me fair and square. The next year, I'm going to come up with some good dance moves.
His irrepressible spirit and incredible talent helped the Magic become playoff contenders.
Kicks left wing dueling. He drives, whips underneath Howard. Hang on, hold the children. Slam, Dwight Howard.
Narrowly missing the playoffs in 2006 only made Dwight hungrier for success.
Each year, we don't make the playoffs. It's like a bad taste in my mouth, and it won't go away until I reach the level with my team that I want to get, which is a championship.
High, Howard! Oh man! You gotta be kidding me! You gotta be kidding me! On the inbound pass, Howard wins the game! I have never seen anything like that!
It's game time, baby.
Here's Amar'e, look out! Rejected by Stoudemire. Clutches it, and Malone was underneath. He's becoming a real force in this league.
The Suns drafted Amar'e Stoudemire with the 9th overall pick in 2002. At the time, he was considered a project, but he immediately proved he was ready for the NBA.
There's a steal by Stoudemire for the tie. What a play by Amar'e Stoudemire. Stoudemire is a blocking machine here in the early going. Stoudemire, another spectacular play in what is becoming an ordinary thing.
He was straight from the Garnett mold of big men with athleticism.
And there's Arroyo, dribbles it up. Watch this. Here comes Amar'e.
Amar'e became the first player drafted straight out of high school to win the NBA's Rookie of the Year award.
He powers to the rack. Oh, my.
Stoudemire would go on to become an all-star in 2005 and was now one of the game's most dominant players.
Speed and quickness in big people today is pretty alarming and pretty amazing.
This one not there. Stoudemire with a huge follow.
And his athletic ability has also made him a force at the other end of the floor.
Spins, gets it off the Duncans, and that shot is rejected by Stoudemire. Stoudemire with the biggest block of the series so far.
What I take pride in is my off-the-ball defense. You know, being able to come off the weak side and block some shots. That always helps out my teammates. If there's a defensive letdown on the other side of the court, I'm able to back them up.
Kevin Harris rejected by Stoudemire.
He jumped over Steve Nash to block that one.
Here comes Ross the other way.
Gets to the basket. Oh, he is wiped away by Stoudemire.
You're not going to be able to score that easy in my house.
Amari's fast track to stardom was derailed by 2 knee surgeries that cost him the 2006 season. But he worked hard to make it back the following year and recaptured his old form.
Pass Raja Bell, the trailer. Stoudemire with an emphatic dunk.
It's just been great to see him really commit and sacrifice to his teammates and giving us a big presence, one that I don't think we can win the championship without.
They'll throw it up to Stoudemire for the alley-oop dunk to tie the game. Oh, he's back. He's back.
And so the legacy that began with Kevin Garnett is being carried on by today's athletic big men, who will set their own standard for the generations to follow.
Growing up as a little dude in Atlanta, Dwight Howard watched tapes of Kevin Garnett to study his moves. And KG has returned the admiration. After their first matchup, KG called Dwight a freak of nature. And he said the sky is the limit for just how good he can be. Now, the scary thing is, Dwight and Amari have many years left to keep getting better and to keep getting more dominant. They're the kind of players you would want on any team, fantasy or reality. And they will take on the world together as members of the U.S. national team that will compete in the 2008 Beijing Olympic Games. I'm Rick Kamla, hoping you've enjoyed this edition of NBA Street Series Volume 5, Journey to Becoming an All-Star.
I'm just happy to be in the presence of greatness, man.
And what's the number down to now?
You know what I mean?
Keep track because
It's the Oscars of the NBA.
If he gets this, it's going to be crazy.
I like this.
Oh, he got it. Oh!